What if your thoughts, past, and limiting beliefs are secretly shaping your reality? Today on the Personal Evolution Podcast, John and Lisa explore manifestation, the abundance mindset, and the success mindset with insights from Lewis Howes' conversation with Billy Carson. How can positive psychology and personal growth unlock your power to manifest a bold future? Subscribe to our podcast and join the masters of the mind as you overcome mental blocks and achieve success and abundance. Let's get started.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Deep Dive.
Hello!
Get ready, because today, wow, we are really going deep. We're venturing into some truly mind-expanding territory.
Definitely. We're talking about reality itself, consciousness, and how we might actually shape things around us. Manifestation.
Exactly. And what really kicked this off for us was this amazing video conversation. It was on Lewis Howes' podcast.
Yeah, he was talking to Billy Carson, the guy they call a fourth dimensional thinker.
Yes. And watching that, it just sparked so much thought. His perspective is, it's just incredibly intriguing, isn't it?
It really is. He has this way of connecting ancient ideas with modern science that it makes you stop and think.
Totally. So that's our mission for this deep dive, really. We want to unpack some of the most, mind-bending bits from that chat.
Then maybe the most empowering parts, too, to pull out those key insights from Lewis and Billy's talk and see what they could mean, for you.
Okay, let's jump in. One of the first things that really grabbed me was this formula Billy Carson talked about for manifestation.
Ah, yeah, the CT times A equals M thing.
That's the one. Conscious thought multiplied by action equals manifestation. Sounds simple enough, right?
Uh-huh. But he added a really crucial layer to it, didn't he? Something we often miss.
He did. He talked about our internal state, specifically trauma.
Right. His point was that you can't really manifest effectively if you're, full to the top with trauma, as he put it.
Yeah. It's like you need to create space inside first. He called it shadow work.
Which makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? You need clarity. You need room for things to actually take root.
It really hit home for me. Like trying to download something huge onto a phone that's got no memory left, you have to delete some old stuff first.
And that old stuff in this case is unresolved experiences, emotional baggage.
Exactly. Facing it, processing it. It makes you wonder, how much does that internal static mess with our external world?
Could it be literally blocking us from aligning with what we want? That energy.
And speaking of energy, wow, he gets into this concept of the universe being a fractal holographic matrix made of light.
Okay, yeah. That sounds like sci-fi.
I know, right? But hang on. Think about a hologram. Every tiny piece holds the whole picture.
And fractals repeat patterns at different scales. Oh, okay, I see where he's going. The universe built from light patterns.
And he links it to quantum physics. The double slit experiment.
Where things are just possibilities until we look at them, until consciousness observes them.
Precisely. It suggests our consciousness isn't just passive, it's actually involved in making reality real.
So this table between us, it feels solid.
But according to him, it's just light vibrating super, super fast. We're not even really touching it. It's all electromagnetic fields pushing against each other.
Okay, my brain hurts a little now.
It gets wilder. He said humans can only perceive less than 1% of the entire light spectrum.
Seriously? Less than 1%?
Yeah. So think about that. What else is out there all around us on frequencies we just can't see or sense?
That opens up huge possibilities. Whole other layers of reality, maybe.
Which leads right into dimensions. He mentioned physicists talking about, 11 dimensions?
All existing together, just vibrating differently, separated by frequency.
Uh-huh. He used Interstellar as an example, how time works differently in higher dimensions. Maybe not linear at all.
Right, like his analogy of a 2D drawing. From our 3D view, we see the whole house at once.
So imagine a higher dimension looking at our timeline. Could they see past, present, future all at once?
It really messes with your standard idea of time just ticking forward, doesn't it?
It definitely does. And it makes you think about things like, ghosts or apparitions. Things we can't easily explain.
Could they be beings from another dimension, maybe shifting their frequency to interact with ours?
He suggests that possibility. And maybe we just don't have the awareness or the tech to perceive them clearly yet, or to shift ourselves.
So are our senses just too limited right now? Is there potential to expand that awareness?
Maybe. Could we learn to tune in through focus, intention? It's a big question.
It really is.
Then he talked about universal consciousness. Like the whole universe is one giant mind.
With galaxies acting like neurons in a brain. That's a cool image.
And everything in our dimension, our 3D world, is constantly vibrating, sending information back to that source.
So we're not just isolated little specks, we're part of this huge conscious system constantly exchanging info via vibrations.
And our own consciousness. He argues it's not just stuck inside our skull.
The brain is more like a receiver, a quantum computer processing a stream.
Yeah, processing consciousness that it receives.
Yeah.
But it's two-way. We're sending our experiences back out too.
That changes things, doesn't it? We're not separate observers. We're active participants in this massive network.
Okay, so let's bring this back. How does all this connect to actually creating the life we want? Because that's the practical bit people want, right?
Absolutely. He looked back at ancient wisdom, didn't he? Mentioned people who could seemingly see potential futures.
And then act in ways to steer things towards the future they wanted.
Which sounds a lot like focused intention plus action again. Clearly picturing the outcome, then taking steps.
Not just wishing.
Right.
It's that combination.
He told that story from when he was a kid wanting ice cream money.
Oh yeah, he consciously decided he wanted it, then went out and collected donations.
And it worked. The money showed up. That was his CTXA equals M in action right there.
That must have really stuck with him. Seeing that direct link between clear thought and taking action, even for something small.
Definitely. Now, what about just thoughts and words? He really stressed their power.
He brought up cymatics, those patterns sound makes in sand.
And Dr. Emoto's water experiments. The idea that words, intentions could change water structure.
Which is huge if you think about it. Our bodies are mostly water.
So what we think, what we say, it could be physically affecting us, creating frequencies inside us.
That's the implication. If you're constantly telling yourself negative stuff,
this will never work. You're basically programming yourself with that frequency, maybe even on a cellular level. Your subconscious just accepts it.
that's kind of scary, but also empowering.
Yeah.
Because you can change it.
Exactly. He talked about his own recovery from being really sick, how focusing on positive self-talk about getting healthy was key.
Believing it, affirming it, directing that internal story.
It shows the power of belief, right?
Yeah.
Focusing mental energy on healing could genuinely help the physical process.
But what if you're really stuck, like deep in survival mode? Lots of people feel that way.
He said a big shift for him came early on, realizing it's me that's going to save me.
Taking responsibility, believing you can change things.
Moving from feeling like a victim of circumstances to being the one in charge, that's a massive mental switch.
So how do you even start building that belief if you felt down for ages?
His #1 starting point, self-forgiveness.
Forgiving yourself for past mistakes, things you regret.
Absolutely. He said you have to clear that out first to make space for self-belief. Holding on to blame, especially self-blame, it's like an anchor.
Even for really big stuff you feel bad about.
He emphasized it. Gotta forgive yourself. He ties it back to that trauma idea. Unresolved stuff gets stored in the body, blocks manifestation.
Creates resistance inside, makes it hard to vibe with positivity and abundance.
So step 1, forgive yourself. Step 2, start consciously using positive affirmations. Step 3, truly own that you are the creator, not the victim.
Taking control of thoughts, words, beliefs, that's the foundation for shifting your frequency, attracting something different.
And then get really specific about what you do want. Meditate on it. Feel like you already have it.
Embody that feeling of ownership. So when you do that, the universe starts showing you pathways, opportunities.
But you gotta be awake to see them. They can pop up and vanish fast.
It's not magic then. It's seeing the steps, recognizing the chances that align with your goal.
Exactly. Moving from passive wishing to active engagement. Noticing those opportunities.
And it's not just about, like, money or stuff, is it?
Yeah. No, he was clear on that. It's about joy, relationships, a fulfilling life without constant stress. But often, people focus only on the external stuff.
And skip the inner work, the forgiveness, the belief building.
Which is the foundation. True abundance is holistic, mental, emotional, spiritual, and material. Inner work supports the outer results.
He also made a really good point about gratitude.
Oh yeah, being thankful even for small steps forward. Appreciating how far you've come.
That shifts your focus from lack to appreciation.
Right.
Creates a positive loop.
Definitely. It attracts more good stuff. Even setbacks become lessons when you approach them with gratitude.
Okay, let's shift gears slightly. Time. This was another mind bender.
He basically said time as we know it is an illusion.
Yeah, linear time, past, present, future, that's just our 3D experience. He suggested multiple timelines exist at once.
Like in quantum physics, where all possibilities exist until observation collapses them into our reality.
And every single choice we make might actually spawn a parallel timeline where the other outcome happens.
Whoa. Okay, so every possibility plays out somewhere.
Mind-boggling, isn't it? And he suggests time isn't fixed. It's malleable, bendable, maybe transcendable by the mind.
He mentioned things like remote viewing, CIA experiments, where consciousness seems to grab info beyond normal space-time limits.
Yeah, suggesting our minds aren't totally locked into the here and now.
So, could we use focused thought to interact with that, to help manifest things faster, maybe?
That's the idea. Your mind potentially breaking through those space-time barriers to access possibilities, influence probabilities on our timeline.
By focusing intention, visualizing, you might sort of pull that future closer.
It's a fascinating thought. And where do our thoughts even come from? He wondered if sometimes new ideas are just us tuning into a frequency in a universal field.
Like tapping into a collective consciousness. And he mentioned that weird finding about our awareness lagging reality by like 7 seconds.
Yeah. Our perception is always slightly behind the actual event because of processing time.
Makes you rethink the present moment, doesn't it?
And think about athletes, top performers. How they seem to know where the ball will be.
Were they somehow closer to real time, riding the wave of events?
Maybe. Better processing, deeper connection to the now.
But what really sets them apart often?
Unshakable self-belief, he said. Even when things go wrong. Doubt is like a virus.
It really is. Belief fuels action, resilience. Doubt just eats away at confidence, leads to self-sabotage.
He shared that simple trick his wife taught him, the rubber band, snap.
Right. Snap it when you catch a negative thought. Interrupt the pattern.
A physical way to become aware and consciously switch to a better thought. Build that belief muscle.
Simple, but could be effective.
He also talked about collaboration over competition. Abundance isn't limited.
Yeah, working together, supporting each other, makes resources flow more freely, apparently, shifting that mindset.
And he ended with that really moving story about his near-death experience.
The overwhelming gratitude for life he felt. Puts everything in perspective.
Brings it back to appreciating the now, finding joy right here.
Powerful stuff.
Okay, so let's try and wrap this up. Key takeaways. We talked about the universe as maybe this fractal holographic light show.
Yeah, and multiple dimensions potentially existing, separated by frequency, vibrating differently.
And that powerful formula, conscious thought times action equals manifestation. CTXA equals M.
But remembering the crucial bit, the inner work, forgiveness, dealing with trauma, clearing that internal space first.
Absolutely essential. We touched on how our thoughts, our words might actually have, a tangible effect. Cymatics, the water stuff.
Suggesting our inner state can influence outer reality, even our own bodies.
And the whole concept of time maybe being an illusion in higher dimensions, something our minds might even transcend.
Plus, the huge impact of belief, shifting from survival mode to abundance, finding your passion, being of service.
It's a lot. Which leads us to that final thought we wanted to leave you with.
Okay.
If reality really is something like a holographic projection, and if our consciousness plays a key role in shaping it,
wow,
then what does that truly mean for you? What possibilities does that unlock for your life? And how you actively choose to create your experience?
That's a deep one to ponder. It suggests incredible potential, doesn't it?
It really does. Something to maybe explore in your own deep dive.
We really hope this chat has sparked some new ideas, maybe challenged some old ones.
Thanks so much for joining us today. Hopefully it gave you some exciting things to think about regarding reality and your own power within it.
Definitely. Until next time.
And that wraps up another deep dive here on the Personal Evolution Podcast. We covered a lot of ground today on reality, consciousness, and manifestation. We'd love to hear your thoughts. What did you take away from this discussion? Share your perspective in the comments below. If you found this episode valuable, please give us a like and make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss future episodes. Thanks for listening. Until next time.